its history, American Motors had deliberately stayed out of the performance spotlight. Formed in 1954 from the merger of Nash and Hudson, AMC positioned itself focusing on economy and practicality. While Detroit's Big Three escalated the muscle car wars throughout the 1960s, AMC stood on the sidelines, wary of burning precious resources on high-risk, high-cost performance ventures. They wanted to stick to the simple cars that they were building and see if they could weather the storm. But by the late 1960s, the writing was on the wall. Performance was selling. Young buyers wanted speed, and AMC didn't have it yet. AMC's image as the frugal family brand wasn't going to cut it anymore. If the company was going to survive, especially with its already smaller market share, it had to evolve. That meant getting serious about model year as part of their repositioning strategy alongside the AMX. And as the first pony car AMC ever made, they knocked it out of the park with the Javelin. It was a really handsome car. It was smooth yet muscular, and it had its unique semi-fastback roof design on the back, with its aggressive twin Venturi front grille and its understated but striking dual hood scoops. It was a looker, and it was a far cry from the Ramblers of old. Under the hood, 3 different sized AMC V8s were available, as well as 2 inline 6s for the Javelin, with V8 power outputs coming in at 315 horsepower for the top dog 390 cubic inch motor, 280 horsepower for the 343 cubic inch, and 225 horsepower for the smallest V8, which was the 290.
Ooh, that's cool. AMX. These cars, we've discussed them before. They're pretty cool cars. If I could find one, I'll show you what they are.
Movie. So one day she came to me and asked me if it would be possible to get a Hudson for her. I know that seems kind of crazy to buy a car for a 12-year-old girl, but I did go look on Craigslist up in the Portland, Oregon area, and I did find one in Aurora, Oregon. And we ended up buying it and brought it home to be a project for her and I to work on. And it would be her reward if she actually graduated high school, did not get on drugs, and did not get pregnant. So it was our project for several years, and she did graduate, didn't get pregnant, didn't do drugs, so she got the car. However, just as she was of age to, move out and do her own thing, 18, she decided to go into the military. So she signed up for, and she was leaving to go to boot camp about the time my wife and I were moving to Arizona. So she asked if I could bring it with me and take care of it for her until she was ready for it. 5 years, and I ended up bringing it to Arizona and took care of it. So I've been trying to get her to take it home for several years, and finally this year, 2026, she called me and said she had a friend in Arizona that had a car trailer that needed to come up to Oregon anyway, so she would fly down, spend a few days with us, meet her friend here, and ride with him back up to Oregon and take the car. And this is that story. It had been sitting in a 3-sided barn for 30 plus years, and it was covered in dust and bird poop. At this point, my good friend Larry Morphew and I got together, and we included Ellen as well, to pull the engine out of the car and send it off for a rebuild, because I'm sure after sitting for 30 plus years, it was no good. And I'm glad we did, because once we took it apart, it was evident that it needed a rebuild. So we got started on that task, and Ellen helped along the way. together, and I had bought a 62 Corvette that needed some work, and turns out that Larry was quite the Corvette love of Corvettes, and were friends for many, many years. And that's why he was willing to help us with this Hudson project. It was not in his wheelhouse of Corvettes, but he was a mechanic by trade. He was a big truck mechanic. I mentioned in the video that he passed away, and I can't tell you how much I miss him. It left a big hole in my life. But anyway, Ellen always wanted to be involved when something was happening with the car. So we cleaned out the fuel tank, and I gave her the task of painting the fuel tank and painting the mounting straps for it. So she was always a good partner, and she did a good job. It for her for 12 years. We built this for her when she was in high school, and she's finally taking it home. And for a little while to steer, well, at least until you're part of the way in, so you can steer a little if you have to.
Yeah, I can.